All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Trading Bitcoin with your host, Vays, coming to you live this Saturday, very early afternoon, East Coast time. And I'm going to do a little bit of a public Q&A today. We released a private Q&A late last night, New York time. I'm always on New York time. It doesn't matter where I am in the world. The world kind of revolves around New York time because of the traditional stock market where I grew up trading. So we also revolve around New York time, even though the state is collapsing due to its social. Let me not get into politics again this early. Okay, so let's go to screen share. Don't post your questions yet. I'm going to try to take a bunch of questions from the public. I see that it's hard. Hey, man, thanks for being the moderator today. You're the only one, and you're not in my Telegram group, so you can't actually post any questions. So if there's any other moderators that can put questions together and shoot those over to me. Otherwise, tag my name, or just like Fabio just did, or capital word question, and I'll try and get some of your questions. Let's briefly look at the charts. Of course, I have to begin with promoting Understanding Bitcoin. You guys are going to keep being annoyed of me promoting Understanding Bitcoin until the conference actually ends, which is October 14 to 15. Please come out and support. It's going to be an awesome event where we help you properly use Bitcoin by those that help code Bitcoin. That's the event. Okay. The Financial Summit takes place a few weeks later in Ras Al Khaimah. This is for traders and hedge funds, a little more high-end. Great event. Okay, let's move on. We have the weekly chart. The week is almost coming to an end. I am still fairly optimistic that we can close the week above $51,000. Now, it's a little silly why I want to see the week close above 51,000. There's really no real reason for it, other than it gives us the 10th highest weekly close, which is pretty damn good in an overall bull market. I do believe this is a bull market. We can, review history. If you look at the way we bottomed, I can make an argument for both sides. Right here, we bounced off the 50-period moving average, which, if you are a moving average trader, is absolutely textbook. For me personally, I rank price action and chart patterns ahead of moving averages. And based on chart patterns, and I'm not a Wyckoff guy, and it's debatable whether Wyckoff called this or not, I felt that there could have been, and there was a slightly greater than 50% probability that right here, we could have spiked a little bit lower to time the perfect dip. Now, at the time this was happening, well, there's nothing else to say on a weekly chart. I keep saying it over and over and over again. It is almost fully bullish. The only thing that is missing to be fully bullish is the upwards sloping of the 20-week moving average. That's the only thing that's missing. Everything else I have on this chart is fully bullish. We're just waiting for the ultimate breakout. Now, back to this area right here. Now, right here, I felt that, you know what? There could still be a little bit of pain. And when you are in doubt, you always go with the most conservative scenario. However, when we flip over to the daily chart, you can see that the daily chart reversed perfectly on an MRI buy. Now, I have a pretty damn good memory. And what I said over here that, yes, I am kind of expecting a lower low. However, this is not a shorting opportunity because of an MRI buy. In fact, there is probably a tradable move to the upside for 1 to 4 candles as we bounce our head on the 50-period moving average. And this is where you reevaluate your situation. Now you can see we went up for 1, 2, 3, 4 candles, And then we got stuck at the 50-period day moving average for about 10 hours. And then we broke above it and closed above it. Once you're able to close above this moving average, at this point, you have to evaluate the situation that the 1 to 4 candle correction has extended further, and we are no longer, well, obviously we did not get rejected by the 50-period moving average to take us down. And now we are going to be looking for more upside. Where is this upside most likely to end? Well, there are 3 potential ends to this bullish trend. Well, for me, they are. Everyone trades on their own. For me, there were 3. One was the inability to break past the MRI resistance line, which we did about 4 days later. The next one was the MRI top was going to be a potential reversal, which it kind of wasn't. It was off by 1 day. It was off by 1 candle. And the third was going to be the next moving average, which is the 128 days, which we did not get to. So we broke the first. We were 1 day early on the second, and we did not make it to the third. Okay. Then what happens when we hit an MRI? When we hit an MRI sell, it's the same logic as hitting an MRI buy. You look for a 1 to 4 candle correction and then reevaluate the situation, whether it keeps going or reverses. You can see how we did reverse for 4 candles, though we were 1 day late, and then we reversed and went back to the upside. Now, what was I expecting on this day? Well, because this is a doji candle, and the following day started trading lower than the doji, which in my book triggers a potential short trade, though shorting Bitcoin is incredibly dangerous. I expected this correction to go right into the 50-period day moving average and bounce off of it. So, you know, I guess they say if the queen, I don't want to offend anyone, but there's a common saying, probably haven't heard it in a while, you know, it's a lot of ifs when it comes to trading. That's not going to make you money. And like if you play cards, oh boy, shoot. I got to pause this because I'm getting a call from John Nigerian. If you guys know who John Nigerian is, I have to pick up this call. I'm sorry, guys. Give me 3 seconds. All right. Thanks, John. I'll call you back in 20. All right. Later. All right. Awesome. Yeah. So we got 20 minutes to go, guys. We're going to end at the top of the hour because I want to call John Nigerian back. If you guys don't know who he is, yep, that's the one. Motorist spelled the name out. Google him. Great guy. Name drop right there. All right. Anyway, I'm not gonna keep beating this dead horse, but I'm gonna do like a quick copy right here. Where's my copy function, right? So if this pullback, whoa, what's going on? If this pullback of 4 candles had occurred immediately following the doji candle, you can see how we would have perfectly bounced off the 50-period moving average. But this extra candle kind of screwed everything up, and we never like properly pulled back to the moving average, which disappointed me. But hey, trading isn't easy, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Anyway, I don't know why I'm getting off on these tangents. Here we are today. We have broken out. It's going to be so simple. We have broken out above the prior swing high. I am super bullish, and we are in the beginning of an MRI count. You want to be careful of the weekly MRI top. And here we are. So that's it. Done. We're bullish. That was I don't know why I got off on that tangent, but a little bit educational. This is my 3-day chart with Consensio. Beautiful, fully bullish. I got to get Mark on a live stream one of these days, and we're going to explain why we really like the 3-day chart on Bitcoin for the use of Consensio with the moving averages of 3, 7, and 30. And this is completely bullish, and therefore I'm not really concerned about Bitcoin. I am bullish. 1 hour chart, I don't like this chart, but that's okay. It's the weekend, things are slow, and I'm looking at the higher level picture. Keeping an eye on Bitcoin finally reversing and crushing some shit coins starting tomorrow on an MRI buy. GBTC is closed on the weekend. We'll talk about it on Monday. Gold continues to be bullish, also closed on the weekend. Oil, I'm not paying attention to at the moment, just a weird chart. S&P 500, I am neutral going into the weekend. It's a 3-day weekend. I don't touch the markets on holiday weekends. We will wait until Tuesday. The weekly chart, however, is bullish. Even though you have all of these red arrows, it is still bullish to me. I will take the green star, consolidation, the slow uptrend, and the unreasonable amount of printing causing inflation to continue to be bullish in the stock market. Okay, now I got about 17 minutes to go. So maybe my moderators have thrown in a couple of questions. Let's see what you got. What are your thoughts of Bitcoin going? Nope, I'm going to promote my events one more time. Understanding Bitcoin, October 14 to 15 in Dubai. Financial Summit later this month. We're going to put up Unconfiscatable on sale. Free Learn Trading section at Vays.com. My calendar of all the events I'm speaking in October, not speaking anywhere in September. And my products, Q&A, on-demand videos. Consensio is right here. Eventually, this will be released for free, probably sometime next year. But for now, it's only $500. Tyler Jenks' old work. And above that are mine. And of course, the MRI indicator itself, which we're going to release an amazing notification service for in the future. But that will be it's not even my, anyway, I'll talk about it when I launch it. Okay, done. Questions? Let's do it. I'm going to open up some stock chart. What are your thoughts of Bitcoin going to 135,000 by the end of 2021? It's possible, but I'm trying to be realistic. My realistic target was always between 100 and 150 for 2021. I know Plan B and Willy Woo have way higher targets. I'm going to stick to my target of 100 to 150. 135 is certainly in that range, but I'm going to be more conservative. I just want to, if you look at my Twitter, these are my notifications on Twitter. If you look at my Twitter, and by the way, those curious about ivermectin, I tweeted out a bunch of resources on ivermectin. They're all right here. These. So I did a whole thread. So all of this, starting from here, tweet number 23. I forgot to number these. These are all research and from doctors and on ivermectin, the dosage, the human dosage, not the horse dosage, and also research that ivermectin it has been also shown to help fight cancer. Like this, like the more I read about ivermectin, the more I plan to probably take it the rest of my life to even help, prevent getting cancer. And malaria and all this other stuff, and it's been used for 40 years, and it's one of the, as far as my research goes, one of the safest drugs out there. But hey, the World Health Organization, FDA, and CDC want to demonize this thing because basically they can't make any money from it. So please do your own research, guys. Research it, not from the government-funded institutions, but from independent institutions, independent research. Check it out. So I posted a lot of it, and this Joe Rogan episode with doctors was incredible. So you just want to good resources, All right. Why don't I go to my Twitter? Oh yeah, I went to my Twitter because of this. Twitter. All right. How do I get to the? Okay. Here, Bitcoin will reach 100,000 by end of year. I tweeted this out back in May, and I still stand by this. I still think 100K by end of year. All right, we got more questions. How do you see the next bear market playing out if we hit 150 to 200 in the next 12 months? If we get there by Christmas, will we see another 80% drop? You know, it's hard to say how the next bear market will play out until I have conceded that the bull market is over. It's really impossible to try to predict the next bear market without knowing how fast and how long the bull market will continue, nor how ridiculous shitcoins and NFTs and DeFi will get. So it's a question I don't really like wasting my brain cells on. I'm gonna just stay bullish until proven otherwise, just like I stayed bearish until proven otherwise. I was a bear for an unreasonably long time, and that's why a lot of people didn't like what I was doing. I stayed a bear from January 2018, January 2017 until this magic day. I was a bear until this magic day. On this magic day of March 12th is when I became a Bitcoin bull. I was very skeptical of this run-up. While I was in bullish trades during this bullish run-up, I did not feel like the overall secular bear market was over. But on this day, and people say, Tone, you got lucky. Well, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, because my friends lost a lot of money by being very good traders. So I'll take luck and sometimes over I always take skill over luck, right? But whatever it was, my view has been I thought there was something wrong with this rally. In hindsight, that was mostly plus token, and I've been bullish ever since this day, and I remain bullish today. And when it's time to go bearish, I'll let you guys know. But I don't think we're close to a bear market yet. All right, next. What are your thoughts on LTV on Bitcoin versus traditional fiat loans? I mean, I think it's fine. I think if you're going to borrow against your Bitcoin, that's okay. Remember, I would try not to. I mean, you want to stick to 40 to 50% LTV. Kind of like what Unchained Capital does. I mean, that's really that's really what you want to do, the way Unchained Capital does it. Because this way, if Bitcoin falls by 50%, you're still not, crushed. And you want to be somewhere where you don't lose your Bitcoin. So if you know you're putting your Bitcoin in a multi-sig, just make sure you don't lose it. Tone, I'm sold on a value proposition of Bitcoin, but how can you judge if the market cap should be 1 billion, 1 trillion, or 100 trillion, or is the market cap irrelevant? I think the market cap is generally irrelevant. I mean, this fiat money printing, especially in the last few decades, has basically caused havoc across all the markets. We don't know what the true value is. I mean, land is somewhat still valuable, but at the same time, I mean, what do you think? Like a government that's falling apart is going to take away your land. So, I don't know. I really don't care that Bitcoin crosses the gold's market cap. It crosses $1 trillion market cap. All that is irrelevant to me, right? What's relevant to me is the government is doing everything they can to make Bitcoin more valuable. And those are very simple things. They're not letting you have free access to your own money. They are continuing to double down on AML and like money laundering and KYC laws. And they continue to print money like drunken sailors. And this goes for non-US governments more so than the United States. So Bitcoin will continue to rise in this environment as it becomes more and more useful. I don't really care about market caps or like, you know, like numbers of those market caps. Tone, a couple of years ago during bear market times, you had a spreadsheet with next tops and probabilities. It would be nice to go back and take a look. I remember next top was under 100,000. Maybe I think it was just, I think that spreadsheet was only to probabilities of the bottom. I should reverse that spreadsheet to a probability at the top. I have to go back and find it. And yeah, I'll try to take a look at that. Tone, I'm a student and a big Bitcoin believer and want to invest in, but obviously don't have much capital. Is there anything I can do as I feel like I'm missing out? Yeah, there is. You could try to sell a service or a product. Well, product is hard. You're a college student. You can try to offer people your services and pay for and get paid in Bitcoin or convert that money to Bitcoin. When I was a college student, I had 2 jobs. While I was in undergrad, I spent 5 years in undergrad. And since my very first semester in undergrad, and there are people that will vouch for this, I had 2 jobs. I had 3 jobs overall while I was in my undergrad, and 2 of those at the same time. I maxed out my workable hours as a college student, which I believe at the time was 20 hours of work per week, while maintaining a course load of 18 to 21 credits as I graduated undergrad with 6.5 years worth of credits in 5 years, got a pair of degrees, and like I switched majors as well. So I actually completed 2.5 degrees in 5 years. So I had a pretty rough workload, and you know what? It's doable. Still found time to party a little bit. So you got to get a job. I mean and buy Bitcoin. You know, like spend less. I mean, Bitcoin changes your view on money. It makes you be more of a saver and less of a spender, which really pisses off the government. What are your views on FTX, buy and Ledger X? I'm not a fan of FTX for the same reason I'm not a fan of Binance. They have a scammy, most likely unlicensed, unregistered security token. And FTX will be fine. The government's not going to go after FTX because they are big Biden supporters and they contribute to politics. So FTX, I don't expect any government agency to go after FTX because of their multi-million-dollar donations to the Democratic parties. It's basically how things work. So, I mean, I'm okay with Ledger X, but like I said, I'm not a fan of projects that have unlicensed, unregistered securities, which is Binance and FTX. I prefer Kraken, which did not do that. All right, next. Let me see. Is there any events that you could come to Ohio for Bitcoin? You know, I've never been to the state of Ohio. Maybe one day I'll go. I'm not going to be in the United States the rest of the year as of a week from now, assuming I can get into Europe. Assuming I can get into Europe, I will be in Europe the rest of September, and then I'm in Dubai. And then I don't know where I am in November. Half November, I'm in Dubai. After that, I don't know. So I don't know. They got me out to St. Louis a couple of times, just, you know, and it was a lot of fun. I might start doing traveling poker games because I really enjoyed hosting those. All right, guys, we got 6 minutes, 6 minutes to go. Any thoughts on the current Bitcoin ETF from Canada? Not really. I really don't want to think about Canada anymore. Why would anyone live there? Get out while you still can. Canada and Australia, like I've mentioned this on Twitter. I mean, people keep waiting for a revolution in Canada and Australia, but they don't realize that the revolution is literally taking place. It is the Bolshevik Soviet revolution that is taking place there right now. You're not going to have a capitalistic revolution in the middle of a socialist revolution. That's not how revolutions happen. Canada and Australia are in the middle of like Soviet Union 1917. Get out. You can still get out of Canada. It's already impossible to get out of Australia. It's the first thing that they do is they shut the border so you can't leave. Get out and go where? Good question. At the moment, my #1 destination for getting out of Australia or Canada is Mexico or the US, but the US has way bigger requirements on becoming a resident. So at the moment, I'm Mexico. Big country, has everything you need, good meat, good tequila, avocados. Read the Tone Vays diet. I mean, like Mexico's perfect for the Tone Vays diet. Speaks a very common language, Spanish, most popular besides English. I mean, I prefer the Baja area. You get that California weather without the communism. Start looking into a second passport. Oh, I don't see anywhere I would rather put my money. God, there's only one place to put your money. Everything else is confiscatable, guys. Everything else in your life is confiscatable. Your kids, your car, your house, everything except one thing. One thing is unconfiscatable. Your Ethereum is confiscatable. Vitalik can just alter the code tomorrow. Everything is confiscatable except one thing, Bitcoin. This is why I own unconfiscatable.com. Man, this domain is going to be huge one day. People don't even realize that Bitcoin is the only unconfiscatable thing that may ever exist in humanity. All right, guys, ended on a politics note. All right, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. Come out to Dubai and support at Understanding Bitcoin or the Financial Summit. Read over these websites before signing up for anything. Thank you all so much for watching. Mempool remains empty. Beautiful. Lightning Network continues to be popular. Talk to you all on the next one. Bye, guys.